As heavy fighting continues in the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, both sides claim to have the upper hand. A video released by the army of the breakaway region shows the remains of tanks and what they say are the bodies of Azerbaijani soldiers, proof that Azeri forces have suffered considerable losses. Armenia's defense ministry adding that its army has won back positions that had been taken by Azerbaijan. But Baku is hitting back with its own footage, releasing drone images of airstrikes conducted overnight and showing Armenian military equipment and vehicles being destroyed. Clashes between Armenia and Azerbaijan erupted on Sunday, reigniting concerns over stability in the region. Armenia has now accused Turkey of interfering in the conflict, claiming that thousands of its fighters have been deployed from northern Syria.
Ուզում եմ հայտարարել, որ մեզ հետ կռվում է ոչ թե Ադրբեջանը, մեզ հետ կռվում է նաև Թուրքիան։ Օգտագործում են թուրքական բանակի արկայության ավելի ձեռքի տակ եղած հիմնական ժամանակակից զենքերն ու զինամթերքները, անօթաչու եւ ինքնաթիռներ։
Azerbaijan has described the allegations as mere rumors and a provocation. The two former Soviet republics have clashed periodically since the 1990s, when ethnic Armenians seized the Nagorno-Karabakh region, a conflict that claimed 30,000 lives.
Не только я, очень много народу пришло сегодня сюда, потому что все осознают, что мы сегодня должны встать на защиту нашей Родины, так как агрессор пытается навязать, не знаю, какие-то свои права, но мы не допустим по-любому. Вы видите, какой ажиотаж здесь. Молодые ребята с 18 лет до, не знаю, 90-летнего старика могут подняться и...
Ցուցակագրվեն, որ գնամ ռազմաճակ։ Ոնց որ մյուսները բոլորս պարտավոր ենք մեր պարտքը տալու, բնականաբար ես չէի կարող անտարբեր մնալ։ Պարտադիր պետք է գնամ։
Soldiers and civilians are being flown to hospitals in Armenia's capital Yerevan from the conflict zone. Then the helicopters return to bring more wounded from Nagorno-Karabakh. But not everyone can be airlifted. Igor Gevorgian's son is fighting for his life in the regional capital, Stepanakert.
We took the children out so they could hide or run away, but we failed. One of my family members, my 9-year-old daughter, was killed either by artillery or a bomb dropped by them. My little boy is seriously injured, and my wife is in hospital. She is also injured.
Dozens of people have been killed and hundreds injured since fighting began on Sunday. Azerbaijan says it is taking back towns and territory held by Armenia since 1994. Armenian forces say they are holding their ground.
The most important thing is we are brave, fearless, and we will go forward.
We captured a lot of Azeri military equipment, and we continue to fight against them using their own equipment. We do well with this.
All the while, civilian men are signing up for duty in Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, just as they are in Yerevan.
By order of our president, people have gathered for a partial mobilization, which means that it concerns men under the age of 32 and those who are considered suitable for us by their profession.
On Tuesday, Armenia claimed that a Turkish F-16 fighter jet had shot down an Armenian plane 60 kilometers inside Armenian airspace. Baku and Ankara both swiftly denied that allegation. But if true, it would be a worrying new development. Turkey has already said it's prepared to help Azerbaijan on the battlefield. And the risk is that Russia could be brought into the fighting because Armenia is part of the Moscow-led CSTO, the Collective Security Treaty Organization. And any attack on a single member state can be considered an attack against all. France is calling an urgent meeting with Russia and the US to find a path to de-escalation. The three have mediated the dispute in the past. This is the most intense fighting between the two countries since the 1990s, and so far the international community seems powerless to stop it. Robin Forestier-Walker, Al Jazeera, Tbilisi.
Mehmet Muradov has been using these crutches for years. He was injured after stepping on a landmine while defending his village in Azerbaijan's Fuzula district against Armenia's occupation in 1991. He lost a foot and a home. Since then, Mehmet and his siblings have been displaced and living in this dormitory from the Soviet era near the capital Baku. There are at least 100 other displaced families here.
Azerbaijan's army was just being established back then. We had to defend ourselves, but we didn't have any weapons. But Russia armed Armenians. We had farms, animals back home. And I had a dream to be a diplomat, but it didn't happen.
Mehmet's brother Nusret is also a veteran. In 1992, he was hit by a bullet on his right arm, which is now 6 centimeters shorter than his left. Yet he survived another battle with Armenia in 1994 with 2 fragments in his skull. He is now dependent on medication. Muradov's sister Gülhar says she's devoted her life to serving her brothers.
They are not only brothers to me, but also good patriots. I wish I could be home again.
It's been nearly 30 years for the Azer Turks of Nagorno-Karabakh that they were displaced and moved into these dormitories. But it has never felt like home for them, and the conflict has never left their minds. Emotions are running, and many hope that they might be able to return to their lands that were occupied by Armenian forces.
The current escalation we should consider from the new military doctrine, Armenian military doctrine, adopted and declared in March 2019, when Minister of Defense of Armenia, David Tanayan, declared that Armenia advances idea of new war for new territories.
The conflict with Armenian rebels in 1992 was the first open war between the 2 ex-Soviet republics, Armenia and Azerbaijan. The war killed more than 30,000 people and displaced hundreds of thousands. It ended in 1994 with a shaky, Russia-brokered truce, but there have been incidents of fighting since then. The most recent was last July. For now, Mehmet says he awaits for the day that he can go back to his ancestral region and its beautiful mountains. Sinem Kösoğlu,